to talk a little bit about the hard work thing too, before you go to your next one, because we were talking here the other day. Some of the guys were showing me some videos on social media of some guys that are showing the drills that they do and the skates that they have and all this kind of stuff, and they're impressive to watch to a certain degree, because some of the guys that they're showing, they're working really hard, and you can see, you can always I tell the kids in here when they're working out, you can see intention. You can see whether somebody's trying to go as hard as they can, or if they're just not giving it that last little bit. You can see it. And when I'm watching some of these videos that they're showing me, you can see the guys that are giving it, and you can see guys that aren't so much. Very easy to read. So they're showing me some videos, and some of the guys that they're showing me are just, you can tell they're giving it, and it's impressive to watch. And some of them are making comments about, I was reading through some of the comments actually on one of the videos, and somebody was saying, man, like, if this guy doesn't make it, or if this guy doesn't make it, like, I've lost faith in hard work, and that's a common thing that people think. Hard work has a great rap, man. Like, nobody ever says a word against working hard, because it's such a big component of getting to where you want to go. But
it is a necessary thing.
It's necessary
to work hard,
right?
Most of the time,
right? And what I want to talk about it a bit today, because people can get really gung ho about hard work and forget about other things that they need to do. So it's not just a given that if you work really hard, you get what you want.
At all.
And that's a common, I think people think that, or can think that, like, if you didn't make it, you didn't work hard enough, or if you're not getting what you want, you need to work harder. And it's not just the hard work. And I think it's really easy for people to default to thinking that it's only about hard work. If you work really hard, you will get what you want, and it's not true. It's just not true. It can be a big component. It can be really helpful and put you in the best position possible if you're somebody who works hard, but it's not just a given that if you're the hardest working guy, you're going to get to where you want to go, because it's a multi-variable situation. You need a lot of things going for you in the right way, whether that's your work ethic is obviously one thing, your skill level is another thing, your decision making is another thing, your timing is another thing. There's all kinds of stuff that comes into the play for you when you're trying to be an athlete particularly, but in anything really. And I don't want people to, because people say it all the time. I see it all the time. It's like, well, you need to work really hard, or it's the standard answer. Like, if somebody is asking an NHLer, like, how did you get to where you want to go? And I'm like, well, you got to work really hard, man. You just got to keep working. You got to keep working. And that is true, and I agree with that. But there's not a lot of mention that goes to the other part of it.
Yeah. So the thing is that you do have to work hard. That's the number one thing. But if you explain what is hard work, it's not going to be what you see on a lot of the YouTube or what do you call them? Videos?
Yeah, TikToks,
all that
whatever.
stuff. That's not what hard work is. That's a form of hard work.
Right.
That might not be, to me, that type of stuff. Well, let me just say this. I'll tell you what hard work is, right? Chopping down a big redwood tree. That's hard work. Yep. Especially if you do it with a ball peen hammer, right? And you could hammer at that thing for years and years and years, and then it may never come down, and then finally it does. You just go, man, you worked your balls off. You should be really successful. When then some guy comes over with a chainsaw, and he does it in 3 seconds. That wasn't hard work, but you got the same job done.
Right.
So, is the guy that hammered away for a couple of years with a ball peen hammer trying to knock a redwood down, is he a hard worker? Yeah, I also say he might have oatmeal north of the eyebrows, right? Yeah. That wasn't the smartest, right? And it's the same thing as a business guy. Like, and I'm an example of this. Okay, I used to sit there with my wife sometimes, and I go, I work my balls off. And why does a business thing maybe not go the way I want all the time? It's because you weren't working smart, man. You were working hard in the wrong spots. And you don't know the game. Not the game of hockey, but you just maybe don't know the game. How about the guy that goes out there and works 3 jobs, right? And he puts every penny away, maybe hides it under his mattress and stuff like that. Then he sees a guy that makes $60,000 a year for 10 years, have more money than him and a more successful life. And he sits there and goes, well, I'm working hard, man. Like, I'm working so hard. How can this guy have more? Well, this guy probably saved his money, invested into something that would make him more, so that his money makes him money. Whereas you're taking it and you're putting away. Yeah, you're working hard, but it's not an effective way of working.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that I'm any better than anybody. But that's
The
the
reality,
reality
yeah.
of it. So when I get frustrated when people say hard work with hockey, like in those terms, because I've seen some of the people that do the YouTube thing. Like when I see or those TikToks, whatever, when I see the drills on there, like when they do come up or when someone shows me, I get bored in 2 seconds because I look at it like if you're becoming like if it's trying to be a hockey player, like if you can look at it, everybody's doing the same thing. Like it's a variation of the same thing. You got 10 pylons and this turn, this thing, a quick hands, a tight turn, and these made up on the fly stuff that you're going to practice over and over. Is it bad? No. No. It's not bad. Would I base my whole hockey career on that? Absolutely no.
Yeah.
So the hard work, if you're going to put that kind of work in, it's basically before you chop the redwood down, right? If it's going to take you 3 hours, take 2 hours to sharpen the axe.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go and do some training and try to develop as a hockey player, there has to be some intention. So doing all kinds of drills as fast as you can, as hard as you can, with zero hockey patterns or really defining like how you're shooting the puck when you get to the end of that, or how you're shifting your weight, or making it something to do with hockey, not just skating around all over the place looking like and getting tired and doing it real fast.
Mhm.
There's no point,
Right.
except when you're younger and you just want to get ice and reps. That's okay.
Yeah.
Or even for the older guys, you want to do something where we're gonna hang on to the puck as much as you can, do all this kind of stuff and a lot of reps and stuff. Yeah, it's okay. But if someone does that and just works hard every day at that stuff, they're not improving any of their hockey IQ skill, like what I mean in skill and understanding the game. So to me, hard work would be, what do I need to work on, and work on it. That's hard work and focus, right? And then you have like, oh, I fixed this one thing and I'm good at it, or I'm this type of a player. Like so people that do those really whatever you call it. I'm not cutting it up, by the way. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying whatever those fancy
The
drills are,
loop-de-loops.
that's fine. But if you can take that work ethic that you can go hard and whatever, and take it and shrink it down into what am I good at, and put that effort in, it might be penalty killing, whatever, and then just really focus on that hard work, then you give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of parents say that the kid works so hard. It's like, well, yeah, but
That's
so
only one
what?
piece,
But it
man. It's
doesn't matter.
right. It
And
doesn't
then
matter.
and the other side of it is that there are times, many times, that it'll frustrate. Okay, so I was thinking about this morning when you mentioned that yesterday. So I have a player that plays in the OHL that skates with me, and I worked with his team a couple years ago before he was drafted, and he was supposed to be like a high end first round pick, right? So I went to the coach after. I said, "That's him." He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Like, does he care? Does he even care?" Like, as I did a whole bunch of a very good player, did a whole bunch of practices and skill stuff for him. He goes, "Well, I don't know, man. It just seems like he doesn't." So I told the coach after, who's a good friend of mine, I'm going out for dinner with him this week. I said, if that's how he's going to work, is he's not making it anywhere. Like it pisses me off, but that's me. So, anyways, this kid gets drafted first round high, plays really good, and went to an NHL camp last year, and he's really good. He doesn't have to work hard because he's just really good. And but it's for him, practice. He goes through the motions. He does it because he has to. He doesn't see it. He doesn't get it. Like, will it be a limiting factor at one point?
Could be.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But in a game, he does his job very, very well, and he does it very, very hard, and then he's able to park it.
Right. Yeah.
So if you look at him, that's not fair. No, but that's what you call talent.
Yeah. But that's the reality. And
talent.
this is what I'm talking about. This is the other half of the equation is the smarts part and the talent part, and that stuff a lot of times gets left out when people talk about it. You just need to work hard. It's like, yeah, you need to work hard, but you also need to be smart, and you also need to be good, right? And that's the thing that I find is lacking in the conversation when you start to talk about hard work things. It's the other part of it is you need that part. If you just work hard, that means nothing. That means nothing. You know, I really like the chopping the tree down analogy. It's like if you go crack at the base of a tree with a hammer until you knock it over, should you be a master lumberjack? No, you're not actually good at it. You're not good at chopping the tree down. You just work really hard. You know, and I think that analogy plays well with hockey. It's like if you can go through the drills or be a practice player really well, but you're not good at the actual activity that you're trying to practice for, do you actually deserve to be in that elite group of people that gets to say that they're a hockey player for a living? You don't. You're not actually good at the activity, you know?
Sorry,
So
I
it's
can work hard at singing all I want,
exactly
all by myself, and think I'm good.
yeah. Well, and but that's what people are getting from
Yeah.
or missing when they're watching these videos,
Mhm.
right? You're seeing some of these guys. It's like, man, they're going hard. And I don't know if you've seen the Pavel Barber guy
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah. Kids love it.
I don't know anything about this guy,
Yeah.
so I'm not talking any smack about him or anything.
Yeah.
But he's one of these guys that looks like he does a bunch of fancy
Yeah.
cone drills and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, it's fine. But what did he? I don't know if he played. Did he play pro?
Apparently, no. 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 No.
So
no,
okay,
no,
so
no. No.
so he's good at all his skills.
Oh yeah, he's a
He
short
looks
little
good.
guy that
Yeah,
that can
he can weave,
zip
he can skate
around and
well.
flip pucks, and
Okay,
it's all cool.
why didn't he play in the
Till Arbor
NHL?
Jack guy takes a
That's
hold of it,
right,
and takes his
right?
head and rams it through the freaking glass and
Yeah,
leaves his teeth on the 18 teeth on the ice, and then that doesn't work.
yeah, it doesn't work, and that's we try to point this stuff out all the time about game applicable skills and how to be good in the actual game. And I don't want when people talk about hard work, because like we were talking about in here yesterday, that's why I wanted to talk about it today. It's like don't don't get lost in the idea of working hard, thinking that it's enough that you work hard, because it's not enough that you
It's
work
not
hard.
enough because you got guys like Eric Wellwood. We talked about this before. Eric Wellwood, Kyle Wellwood, just go through the wall. Aaron Ekblad, Dalton Proud, all these guys.
Yeah.
You can go do your absolute best and work hard for 10 years, and they'll go out there with a pair of rubber boots and beat you.
Yeah. That's exactly what sport is.
Yeah.
That is what sport is. Some
Yeah.
guys they got the
play
V10
hockey.
engine and
Yeah.
you got a V8 and
Yeah.
they're just better.
Yeah.
And that's you can do all the hard work you want. But
Yeah.
so I wanted to point that out before we keep going here
Yeah.
because it kind of is going to play into what you're going to talk about next. But
Yeah.
it's very very important when you're talking about hard work, whether you're coach, mom, dad, player. Don't think that hard work is enough. It's got to be hard work. It's got to be smart work, and you got to be good. It's the
Yeah.
those three pieces. If I
Yeah.
had to break them into three categories,
Yeah.
it's like the hard work piece is important,
Yeah.
but the smart work piece is also
It's
extremely
critically
important. Yeah,
important.
and then just being good enough to a certain
Having
degree.
a base level to get you in the door so you can kick it open with the one thing you do better than everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So that's the thing, right? If you do all this under the stick, through the pylon, jumping through hoops and all that stuff, and you do it really fast, that's great. But how do you apply that to the game? What does that make you good at?